coming here with you. So that'll be good. Library is open once again. And it is reading hour. We're going to be reading Homestuck. We got the Candy Epilogues. And that should be good. I don't really have anything else to prelude with. I hope everyone's having a good time. Hey, hey, hey. I see you there. We're still trying to see if Hazy will appear. I've got all my announcements up. I've posted my link in various places. So before we start, I'd like to ask you all a question. Um, what are your plans for dinner today? You have any plans yet? I know what I'm eating. I'm going to have fried rice. I think that's a very important meal. I also realized that for whatever reason, my mic does have the basic setup to do ASMR. So that's the other thing going on in my life. You're going to have quiche. Quiche is delicious. I love quiche. I've been playing a lot of the horse gacha game. You're probably all aware of the horse gacha. I don't know if you already have a favorite, but I like Super Creek. I like Miss Tachyon. I like Manhattan Cafe. I think I can't get any more stereotypical than by liking these three. I like Maruzensky. And of course, who doesn't like Golshi and Haru Urara? Basically everyone likes Golshi and Haru Urara, right? Hazy is unresponsive. So it looks like it's just you and me. I need to do a Discord timestamp for the tabletop game. Just the two of us in a stream, truly. Is my TTRPG yesterday got cancelled. I'm trying to see if we can reschedule. So yeah, just us two. We can read Candy 14 together. Just the two of us. It's 14, right? That's a bad one. So, we might as well get started and stop delaying. My TTRPG did get successfully moved to today, so that's good. Let me. I think I've informed everyone. I got that. So let's get to the romance, shall we? John's been spending a lot of time with Roxy lately, which also means spending a lot of time with Calliope, which is awkward, but fine. But it also means spending a lot of time with Gamzee, which is awkward, and not even remotely fine. John, Roxy, and Calliope are taking a stroll through downtown New Prospect. Gamzee's here too, a couple feet behind John, doing essentially the same thing that the other three are doing, which is walking at a leisurely pace, but he's being so weird about it that you can't really call it strolling. It's more like he's holding court while somehow remaining in motion. Ever since he popped out of that fridge, smelling like a sweaty foot, he's been all wise and sage-like. John considers that if he were using these two descriptors out loud, he'd make air quotes while saying them. He'd then say Gamzee's acting almost like a priest, which is a word he would also make air quotes around, due to how insanely full of shit John still believes him to be. Roxy and Calliope, however, apparently do not believe him to be full of shit, for some reason. Isn't that nice? Huh? Gamzee's leading a line of adoring Carapacians trailing behind him, telling them stupid fake Zen stuff like, "You gotta stop to smell the seed fronds, my dudes." Not to be speciesist or anything, but the sight is kind of worrying because John knows all too well how susceptible Carapacians are to grassroots populism. He has it on good authority that virtually any schmuck can blunder into a crowd of them, say a few inspirational words, and incite revolutionary fervor amongst the masses. John tries his best to ignore it and walk ahead, but Roxy loops her arm through his and pulls him back. I need to remember my Roxy voice. God damn it. We're here! Check it! Where's here? Me and Callie's fave cafe! It's a nice place. Big, oval windows, flowers on all the tables. It's got a French-ish aesthetic. John says ish because everything on Earthsea is sort of ish. Alternian-ish, Durs-ish, Japanese-ish. It even describes the sky as being some kind of blue-ish. Sometimes it's more turquoise than anything. Too crisp and bright, like the old Earth sky as seen through a pair of tinted novelty glasses. John doesn't mean to be cynical about it, but he guesses that's just the mood he's in. Maybe it has something to do with the fact Calliope insisted on including an unbelievably smelly clown on an otherwise perfectly pleasant stroll. That's it? We're going to a coffee shop? I got out of bed for this? Lamau. Oh, John, you're so funny. No, seriously, Roxy. I feel like I haven't left my house in years, and with all the stuff that's been going on, like Rosa's illness, or that stuff about the political situation, is it really a good idea for us to be having picnics and going out to coffee shops? Oh, John, don't worry so much about things that you have no control over. Like I said the other day, it's time for us to leave ugly things behind us. Yeah, for real, John. Can't you just enjoy what a beautiful day it is? I know I'm enjoying it, since I get to spend it with you like I've always been wanting. You have? Yeah, duh. She tugs him against her side and rests her head on his shoulders. She's a bit taller than him in her nice shoes, so it's kind of awkward. Feels uncomfortable to him, and looks more so for her. But he's enjoying the attention. Sort of. He missed her the way she used to be when the two of them were close as kids. She's laying it on a little thick for his benefit right now, and while he can appreciate that, it can be difficult to rekindle a friendship after it's gone cold for a while. John wishes the rekindling period would hurry up and end already so that they can just go back to shooting the shit like normal. Roxy drags him into the cafe. Calliope doesn't follow them in, for reasons he can only guess at. He catches a glimpse of her through the window. A little forlorn, Gamzee at her side like a faithful dog. He can't hear what they're saying. Outside, Calliope clasps her hands and directs a wistful expression through the cafe window, foot traffic splitting lazily around her and Gamzee as they stand in a busy street. At high noon, her little body casts almost no shadow on the cobblestone road. Sigh. Oh god, I did Gamzee, but with a deep, neutral accent last time, didn't I? What's shaking, sis? You look bummed all the fuck out. How can you be feeling down when we be getting all redeemed and shit up in here? Oh, it's just... Can't you see what's happening with Roxy and John? Gamzee stares through the window. Roxy is leaning across the table to dab at the corner of John's mouth with a napkin. John looks very confused, because they aren't actually eating anything yet. Gamzee stares at this for a very long time, his mouth lolling open as he contemplates what is transpiring with the closest facsimile to wisdom he can muster. He puts one of his huge hands on Calliope's narrow shoulder, all comforting like. Oh, yeah. Well, sure, your girl Roxy is all globes deep in that dude's dank nook. Yes, and, well, I can't say I didn't see this coming. It's all happening so fast. I thought for sure I'd have more time with her. Would a motherfucker like me too? Gamzee leans in so that his face is level with Calliope's. His grin shows every single one of his teeth. Miraculously, his breath smells worse than his body. Motherfucking do something about it. No, Gamzee, no, please, it's fine. I might be sad, but John has made his choice, and we must all live with the repercussions of that. I'm sure that Roxy will be very happy with him. We're all going to be very, very happy. I truly believe that. Calliope walks away, looking somewhat less than very, very happy. Gamzee remains standing in front of the cafe, still not entirely convinced that he shouldn't motherfucking do something about it. John notices him there, just outside the window, leering at him and Roxy. His expression is serene, vacant. Calliope is nowhere to be seen. Hey, Roxy. What's up? Gamzee, he's staring at us, and it's kind of creeping me out. Yeah, don't worry about that. He gets stuck like that sometimes. Stuck? All wonked out and shit? I think he's got brain damage from being a burnout. It's so sad. Is it? Roxy takes a sip of her tea. Her purple lipstick leaves a stain on the fine china. Yeah, John, it's totes sad. He never had a chance with the kind of life he had. What a tragic, misunderstood figure. Roxy sighs and spears a cherry atop her cheesecake with the absurdly tiny dessert fork it was served with. She pops it in her mouth with a pouty little lip pop, staring directly at John with her eyes half-lidded. He thinks she might be trying to be sexy, but he's a bit distracted by the sight of Gamzee lumbering into the cafe with all the grace of an aubergine Sasquatch sporting an epic erection. He puts both hands on the back of Roxy's chair and looms over her. Without breaking eye contact with John, Roxy scoops up a spoonful of cheesecake and feeds it to him. Hey, Roxita. Hey, Gams. What's shaking? Callie went all running off. Ugh. Oh. Hope she's feeling alright. She's motherfucking fine. She said some noise about because of what John did. We're all gonna be one happy family of fucking ninjas for motherfucking ever. What? Hehehe. Gamzee, you're one silly dude. TBH, pretty psyched to see you going through all this redemption shit. I bet you're gonna make a baller part of our great ensemble if you're given the chance. John attempts to furtively gesture his disapproval with the entire situation toward Roxy by vaguely swiping his neck in a horizontal direction with his fingers. But she doesn't notice. Instead, she puts her fork down, slides her chair out, and springs to her feet with an abundance of this newfound enthusiasm he's been struggling to understand. BRB! Gotta hit the ladies' room. Be back in a jiff, suckers. Alright. John and the date's repulsive third wheel watch as she scurries to the back of the establishment. The moment the door to the bathroom closes, Gamzee lumbers into a sitting position across the table from John, without the slightest deviation in his anusously awkward comportment. There's an H in there that I underpronounced. Whoops. Oh well. He's like that anyway, so it doesn't matter. He puts his forearms on the table in front of him, folds his hands, and gazes into John's eyes with what he has come to identify as Gamzee's signature brand of faux serenity. My fucking guy. My dude and my ninja alike. My horn dog. My horn to the motherfucking dog. Waiter! Help! John desperately waves to taxi service in the hopes that it will provide a social buffer for the appalling interaction that is presently taking place. But no carapacians seem to be close enough to heed his request. I see what's fucking up, my good Verta brother. All about I can say is game recognized motherfucking game. You got no secrets from this motherfucker, egg boy. A man stays locked in another man's hunger trunk long enough. Ain't got much left to fucking hide from one another. Actually, that wasn't even my fridge. It was Jane's. I mean, we've basically got the same Shut the fuck up. I'm getting real at a motherfucker right now. I've been redeemed, Joe. I said my sorries and redeemed the shit out of myself. Didn't you see? Yeah. So it's incumbent on a motherfucker to spread the redemption. You should get your redemption on too, my choices of dudes. My dankest of dogs. See, a motherfucker knows. You got this bitch on a rope. It's time to pull her into your tent. I can smell it on you, brother. You've wasted years letting this premium hose slip through your fingers. Less fucking conscionable than any cruise stunt I pulled on my day, I must tell you. A capital motherfucking crime to be squandering Earth pussy like that. Holy shit? But I'm all getting your back here, bro. I can be your wingman in this carnal fucking caper. I can help a little bitch like you romantically redeem his sorry ass. Let a motherfucker help a motherfucker out. A popcorn skillet's piping hot for you already. You just need a tight and loyal boy like me to start shoveling in the corn. Thinking it unwise to break eye contact with this lunatic, John nods very slowly as he listens, while taking a secret snap of his ghoulish face to send to Terezi. Before John submits, he tags the photo with a message. I absolutely fucking hate this. Oh, well, that was Candy 7. It sure is. Gamzee sure is. I gotta say, I don't like him. Yeah, it's a special, like, mortifying kind of uncomfortable to have to read him out loud, you know? Somehow is worse. I don't know how. I don't know how it was worse, but it is worse. At the same time, um, I don't think I'm doing a bad job. Even though obviously I'm not exactly following the suggestion of his typing quirk, right? The suggestion that the typing quirk makes is a warbling voice, but I don't have a deep warble in me, you know? A bunch of Rose interactions as Doc Scratch. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just oh. Let's actually take 3 minutes and then we'll be back. Oh, it's hazy. Okay, and the ad break should be over. Hello, Hazy. Hazy of the Great Deeps. Hazy of the Great Deeps, what is your wisdom? Hazy, true. Drink water and ACs are awesome. I have been drinking bitter lemon. Which is pretty good too. I like lemon. You should like lemon as well. If you don't like lemon, try again. I just had to read the slimiest damn... There's water in there? Exactly. I just had to read the slimiest damn Gamzee chapter. And I will never recover, you know? Have you seen the Horse Girl game, Hazy? Uma Musume, yeah. You will have to rewatch the half hour. Yeah, the first 15 minutes are just the stream starting up, don't worry. Yeah, Uma Musume. The Horse Girls. You have a favorite horse? Don't play gachas. You shouldn't play gachas. Just watch the anime. Yeah. There's a movie out with Miss Tachyon. It's TM Opera O. Pretty sure. You should watch. The horse anime. There's a new series actually as well coming out. Cinderella Grey. I'm pretty sure. She has a crazy scene in the anime. Exactly. Super Creek in the manga is also like insane compared to Super Creek in the game. You shouldn't play Pretty Derby, but you should watch the anime. Anyway, let's go on. Did you hear that Jane has been intending to run for president? Yes, she in fact asked me to serve a position in her cabinet, on the Board of Responsible Troll Reproduction. Oh, dear. What did you tell her? Well, not in so many words, but I told her to kindly fuck off. Rose arches an eyebrow at her wife, who is tending to the mother grub. Rose herself is sitting cross-legged on an outcropping over the lip of the breeding pits, knitting a series of tiny scarves for the grub clones that she and Kanaya have come to help hatch. That bad, huh? She was already talking about regulating troll reproduction, with great confidence, I might add, as if she had already been elected. Very presumptuous of her. Well, I suppose her confidence was not unearned. Who was going to run against her? Karkat? Kanaya laughs to herself, more fond than mocking. Rose turns over another row on her scarf with dexterous ease, switching the knit pattern without missing a stitch. From behind her knitting, she watches Kanaya check the shell thickness on a batch of eggs. Her wife is luminous in the early morning light, her rainbow drinker skin soaking in the pink light, and reflecting it back like the inside of a snail's shell. I don't think Karkat would be such a bad candidate, actually, depending on certain factors, I mean. I'm assuming that in this theoretical scenario, Dave is handling the economy. Oh, of course. Okay. In that case, it might have all worked out in the end. Doubtlessly. I have great faith in Karkat and always have. However, I also am not certain that he could step out of his hive without catching on Twyfer, could you not swift the mother grub so vigorously? Oh, sorry, ma'am. Twyfer Eggmop is Kanai's over-eager but well-meaning jade-blooded assistant. She talks a little like a parody of a 1920s newsboy archetype. Rose can only theorize has to do with Jane's influence on the culture. I've got no idea how to do a newsboy. At least not an American one. I could sort of do the stereotypical, like, English, come care all about it, you know? No, that's American. There's a British accent version of that. Oh well. Just trying to get it nice and clean. I had the new prospect onographers coming by later to scope out some pics. Twyfe is at the center of the breeding pit, knee-deep in birthing juice as she mops down the mother grub's exoskeleton. The parturition of troll grubs is apparently an arduous and grisly task, one that has stained the mother grub's shimmering white exoskeleton rainbow dark with various secretions. Rose takes a moment to feel grateful that her current relationship alignment leaves no chance for her to ever be human pregnant. Not that she has any particular distaste for motherhood. It might be nice to adopt a little troll grub once the whole ball on natural production gets rolling. Twyfer adjusts the rate of her swiffing to a more acceptable level of vigor. She shines up the last of the segments she's working on, then twirls the mop over her wrist with a martial flourish that absolutely recalls the fact that she's from a natural-born warrior species. She then gets to work washing the mother grub's horns. What's this about the hornographer? Since when has the press taken an interest in our activities down here? Oh yes, you were busy dying when I sent all of that up. The mother grub is mature enough this year to process inseminated slurry for the first time in our history. If the government gives us the go-ahead, we can begin breeding trolls the natural way next month. I arranged the newspaper story when Jane asked you to sit on the board for responsible troll reproduction. Yes, the first thing I did immediately after screaming into a pillow was to call my acquaintance at the paper. Now that she isn't running it doesn't seem very important, however. Actually, I'm not terribly interested in politics at all. Without anger motivating me, I began to think about how it's probably very irresponsible for any of us to use our influence in such a way. I agree. In fact, I just assumed that most of us had arrived at such a conclusion. Not Jane, apparently. Or Dave, I'm sorry to say. There's a third member of their social group who definitely hasn't arrived at the conclusion that his power and influence should be meted out responsibly either. Neither of them speak his name, however. For some reason, it feels like a shadow passing over the sun. A brief spike of pain flickers through Rose's head, a bolt that strikes between her eyes and splinters out. There's color and light behind it, a vision that tears through the material reality in front of her and gives her a brief glimpse into a parallel reality where things are very different. It's gone as soon as she notices it. The image never materializes. She ties off the last row of her scarf and unwinds her knitting needles from the wool, a serene smile tugging at her lips. Since waking up in the hospital, she's stopped worrying altogether about what might be happening in splintered timelines. She stopped worrying, in fact, about almost anything at all. A pleasant breeze rustles through her hair, carrying the sweet scent of early spring from the mouth of the chasm. Rose closes her eyes for a moment and breathes it in. Taken just 1 minute at a time, a day can be filled with hundreds of perfect moments. Well, whatever inconvenient party-ruining opinions Dave and Jane might have about the economic future of our planet, it is all in the past. I have a very good feeling about where things are going now. I see. So you are the seer now. No, but I can make predictions based on existing evidence. And if I can spend every day like this doing the work that I was born to do with the person I am most fond of in the world by my side, I believe that I can handle anything. Did you really use dialogue like that to win my heart, or are we getting complacent and incredibly uncool in our old age? I convinced you to marry me. I don't think that I am obligated to be cool anymore. Naya, you're the coolest chick I know. What are you doing with your hands? You know, just one of these. Please don't tell me you're attempting to do the Strider thing. That thing he does where he pretends to operate an invisible record player. God. Who's the cool one now? Well, it sure isn't you. Ma'am and ma'am's wife, bank's closed, ladies. The first egg is hatching already. Kanaya twirls on her heel, skin flickering bright as she lifts her skirt and jumps into the breeding pit. Rose sets down her needles and follows, walking along the edge of the pit to the place closest to the eggs. She crouches to watch the miracle of life begin. She's never taken the time to come down here before and see the grubs hatch. Probably because she's been too busy diminishing melodramatically on the couch to take an active interest in her wife's life calling. The grub is already chewing through the chitin eggshell with all its little legs moving sinuously in an offbeat concert. Offbeat concert. Pfeiffer is sniffling. She makes the motion of wiping away a tear, somewhat cartoonishly. Golly gee, oh my, this part always makes me tear up. Kanaya dips down to help the grub out of the shell. Her skirt trills through a puddle of birthing jelly, but she doesn't seem to care. There's an awed expression lighting up her face, in addition to the literal light emanating from her skin. She tears away the last chunk of the shell. It's mottled and rough, like a rock on the outside, but has a layer beneath like mulched flesh. Kanaya's hands are soaked blue with bloody yolk when she finally lifts the grub and holds it up to the light. Rose, look. Rose looks. All troll grubs appear kind of samey, but this one has a familiar look about her. Asymmetric horns, one crescent, the other harpoon-like. A mussed mane of hair and a mischievous glint in her beady little eyes. Particularly the one with 7 pupils. Vriska? Pretty close. A reasonable genetic approximation. This brood has been utilizing a slurry consisting of genes from our original group of 12 trolls. Mostly this results in unique individuals, but sometimes very close copies occur, as with the case of ancestral descendancy. So, Vriska would be this troll's ancestor. Yes. Wow. Rose, I think this is a sign. A sign of what? Haven't we been talking about adopting a grub? Eventually, yes, but a natural-born grub. Don't you think it will be somewhat awkward, us raising a clone of your sort of ex? What happens when Vriska comes back? What do we say to her? Rose, Vriska is dead, so it doesn't really matter. Is she dead, though? Absolutely. There are 2 things of which I have no doubt. That you and I are going to be happy for the rest of our lives, and that we are never ever going to see Vriska again. Baby Vriska wriggles her 6 talons. Kanaya cradles the little grub against her chest and pokes it in the nose. A grub reacts by blowing a bubble of bright cerulean yolk membrane out from between its lips. To her own surprise, the sight melts Rose's heart in an instant. The emotion that hits her feels like one of her old visions. Suddenly, she can see her and Kanaya's future so clearly, like a map rolled out at her feet and stretching far into the horizon. Kanaya's right. Vriska is dead, and despite everything, she died a hero. Vriska was a complicated figure of contrasting extremes. Her heroic actions were matched in skill only by her monstrous ones. And since no one had actually witnessed her end, it was impossible to say which side of the pendulum swung and judge her death, heroic or just. It would be a fitting memorial for her and Kanaya to raise a version of Vriska who would be given every chance to make good on her noble characteristics. A true, symbolic redemption arc. Something about the thought appeals to Rose's taste for the dramatic flourish. It would be proof that this was all worth it in the end. The destruction of multiple universes, the death of Kanaya's friends, the circuitous rites of suffering experienced by the nearly infinite splintered versions of every being to inhabit paradox space. Rose loves her wife fiercely in this moment. The new mother of her species, framed in a literal halo of light. She can't contain her excitement. She leaps into the pit with Kanaya and runs to embrace her, not caring about the irreversible rainbow-colored stains that she's smearing into her dress. Oh, Kanaya, you're so right. We are going to be so astonishingly happy. Hooray, Candy 8 done. So, honestly, there's not much I can say about the previous chapter. It's just kind of cute. It's a cute chapter between the two of them. But you might see that it's not exactly the end. So there's more stuff still to happen. Hazy, are you still alive? Are you still with us? Hazy has died. Everyone, let's hold a funeral. Oh, dearly... Oh, you're alive. Damn. I was going to start the sermon. What do you think? What do you think of the chapter? Give me your thoughts. Give me your feedback. We're going to write a whole thing about Hazy's funeral. Me too. Okay, so Candy 9. Aren't you guys happy to get out of the house for once? Jade's tail swishes back and forth under her striped skirt as she takes a great big sniff of the fresh outside air. It's an early evening on the outskirts of the Troll Kingdom. One by one, neon bright windows are lighting up on the hives in the distance. Karkat is still shielding his eyes against the dying strains of the sunset. His shoulders are scrunched up so high that his cheeks disappear into his turtleneck. How am I going to do Karkat's voice? No, actually, I don't get what's so great about it. I can see the same bullshit from the comfort of my house. Check it out. A giant billboard of Jake English complete with a gyrating mechanical ass. What a totally necessary thing to shove right into my gander bulbs. Definitely couldn't have lived without seeing that. Dude, okay, don't pretend you don't spend at least 15% of your day ogling Jake's ass on television anyway. In fact, you're doing it right now. Well, I can't help it, Dave. It's right fucking there. Oh my god. Are the mechanical glutes on that billboard actually padded with plush to make them more lifelike? Yeah, see, crazed fans kept climbing the billboards to Copperfield, so Dirk designed the second run of them to have an accurate recreation of Jake's butt density. He did what? It's wild, dude. It's like exactly spot on. Wait. Holy fuck. Have you actually touched Jake's ass? I mean, not necessarily on purpose, but who hasn't? Like, I wouldn't say it's so much that I touched his ass. It's more like his ass copped to feel my sweaty palm one time, and my poor fingers haven't been the same since. Sometimes I wake up from a fevered sleep and find my reluctant, groping hand huddled in the corner of my bed, all shaking and shit. The mind represses, but the body remembers. I thought about taking my hand to a psychologist, but I don't think the little guy is ready to talk about it yet. Anyway, have you seriously never touched it? I haven't? Not even by accident, like brushing by in a crowded elevator? No! I didn't spend a lot of time standing in elevators with Jake fucking English, or for that matter, doing much of anything with the idiot, as you well know. What I'm hearing is you tragically never touched his ass and it's a bit of a sore subject with you. Is that why you're so obsessed with it? If you want to touch it, shit can be arranged, my dude. Yeah, I'll text Doc right now. I bet he can pencil you into Copperfield sometime next week. No, I don't want to. Put your phone the fuck away. We are never having a playdate with Dirk and Jake again, especially not one arranged for the express purpose of assaulting one of them. Dude, Jake lives for this shit. It's not assault if his ass is begging for it. Wait, wow, that sounded bad. Let's strike that one from the record. Anyway, it's no problem. He literally will be delighted to hear you want to spend time with him for some insane reason. Stop texting right now! Parker tries to tear Dave's phone out of his hand, but Dave simply levitates several inches off the ground to hold it just out of jumping distance. Jade, pouting a bit, glides in between them and uses her space powers to teleport Dave's phone out from the center of his traumatized palm and into the pocket of her sweater. Hey, can we focus here? Jake's ass isn't the one you two should be talking about right now. Oh my god. Jade, do you ever fucking stop? I don't care about your ass either. I've seen it about as many times as I've seen Jake's. The novelty is worn off, assuming there even was much to begin with. Jade leers at the boy who may have just implied her ass was nothing to write home about. Her canines are longer and sharper than the normal humans, making her grin seem more predatory in nature. Especially when she wants it to be. Karkat shivers at the sight of it. That's not what I'm talking about. Jade grabs Karkat's right hand and then Dave's left one. She begins to pull them toward each other. Both boys recoil, but she's much stronger than them. Jade, come on, what are you... He's doing it. He's making it happen. This is a date, dummies. No, stop! Dude. Karkat makes a fist so tight that his nubby fingernails pinch his skin. Dave does the opposite. He makes a flat palm and raises it as if to stop traffic. No, let me show you. You have to turn it flipwise. He turns Dave's hand so that it's cupping Karkat's angry little fist in his palm. When she pries Karkat's fingers open finally, they snap closed around Dave's almost automatically. Karkat's eyes go a little light bulb-like. Dave's gone pale and a bit sweaty. Jade claps and then makes a rectangle with her thumbs and forefingers, framing her hand-holding besties at the center of it. He's taking a picture with her brain right now. Dave and Karkat being all shy and intimate with a romantic backdrop of a brilliant twilight behind them. A pretty portrait. Put her in the middle of it and it's a work of art. That's what she wants the rest of her life to be. After all, where would these two pitiful beta boys be without her? See, I don't mind at all. I would never try to break up what you two have. I'm just trying to make it better. With a satisfied smile, Jade dips under their arms and hooks her hands around either waist, pulling Dave and Karkat up flush against her. Their fingers remain entwined behind her back. She begins walking them down the ridge of the hill, beaming brighter than the first stars in the sky. See? Isn't this perfect? It could be like this all the time, you know? The three of us in every combination. Or whatever combinations you two are comfortable with. Positions, too. Dave has gone catatonic. Karkat's just as quiet, but it's a quiet that's as loud and alarmed as his actual voice. He's got his head turned away from the situation he's been forced into, as far as it will go. He's concentrating so hard on looking elsewhere that he trips over a rock, and is only saved by Jade picking the three of them off the ground as she takes flight. Karkat's legs flail when his feet go out from under him. Ah! Don't do that! You know I fucking hate that! Jade sets them back on the ground, cackling like the witch she is. Karkat still won't look at her. He stops laughing abruptly, sensing that her plan isn't going as well as she'd hoped. He views the two boys as a broken electrical circuit, and herself as a conductor between the two charge points. She just needs to maneuver it into the correct configuration, like she did with her hands. Does a few quick calculations in her head, refusing to give up on her assumption that relationship issues can be solved the same way math problems can. Don't worry, Karkat. There's nothing to be scared of. We'll take care of you. Right, Dave? Dave doesn't answer. He answers for him by leaning down and planting a dry, affectionate kiss on Karkat's cheek. He yelps and leaps away like he's been scalded by a burning iron, liberating himself from the deeply uncomfortable hug triad. Okay, that's it. I'm drawing a fucking line in the sand right here and now, Jade. You will seize this endless violation of my person with your mouth, fingers, and occasionally your fucking tail. I'm not a piece of meat that you can brutally and viciously molest whenever you're bored. Brutally and viciously? Alright, it's possible I'm overreacting, but that's my fucking right as a free and autonomous person with a certain degree of fundamental bodily sovereignty endowed to him by the gods of motherfucking consent. Sigh. But I hope you understand what I'm getting at here, which is that I want you to stop doing shit like kissing me without asking permission first. Karkat, you're absolutely right. And I couldn't agree more with you on the issues of consent, as everyone who's gotten to know me well enough is perfectly aware. But I'm not the one who kissed you, silly. What? Jade covers her mouth coquettishly and winks. It was Dave! Dave turns around, shoulders going rigid, and eyes popping open like he's just awoken from one of the terrible, sweaty nightmares he was projecting onto his hand earlier. I what? You kissed Karkat, finally! No. No, I didn't. Why would I? Dave hesitates. Jade is giddy with anticipation. She couldn't possibly look more pleased by her own handiwork. I've no idea what you're talking about. I would never. You're whack, Jade. I'm not... Whack? Why would I kiss Karkat? I've never even once thought about kissing Karkat. How would you even fucking do it? He's so petite. I'm what? You're like, okay, I'm gonna admit that was a weird thing to say and it has dick all to do with your kissability. God damn it, can we stop talking about this yet? What I mean is like, how could somebody kiss this guy when anybody, like anybody when his teeth are so... When my teeth are so fucking what? Dude, they're just... Like they're huge and not always in your mouth. So how, how would a guy get his tongue in there? Tongue? Karkat begins hyperventilating and momentarily forgets his beef with Jade long enough to lean on her to prevent himself from toppling over. You'd have to be really careful to like, I mean, if you were intending to kiss Karkat, it's not like I put any thought into this, but you have to be so careful, just like totally so gentle in your approach to it because you're so... Enough! Cease! I command you! You know, like this. I don't know, I'm just spitballing, and this is literally the first time the thought has like ever popped up in my head, but upon honest reflection, I don't know if I'm up to the task. Dave's mouth hangs open a bit. His gaze flits from Karkat to Jade and back again. His palms are wet, but his mouth is dry. I'm not. I was never. We're not. We're not. Dave's mumbling protest slows down to a stop. Actually, you know what? I don't have time for this. Peace, dudes. Dave ollies the fuck out of there. Flash stepping between 1 second to the next, disappearing 30 seconds into the future with a gusto of a piece of garbage flying into the fucking sun. Jade stares after him, blinking at the glare of the afterimage he left behind. It's a glimmering slice of ultraviolet that only she can see. It lingers in the unstable particles between the air. She huffs and put her hands on her hips. Wow, rude. Sigh. I forget sometimes how immature Dave can be. Well, Karkat, I guess it's just us. You will still want to go split a plateau of grub spaghetti at the noodle barn? Karkat, when she turns to address him, is staring at her slack-jawed. He takes a step back, but isn't watching where he puts his foot. His heel goes into a dip in the hill, and he goes stumbling backwards, feet overhead. Ah, fuck! Jade, would you... Fuck! Ouch! A little... help? Maybe? Ugh! Jade could probably catch him. Actually, she could easily do it, but it doesn't seem like the kind of favor you should do in a fledgling kismethitude. Kismethitude. Yeah, no. So instead she just watches him roll all the way down to the foot of the hill, knees and elbows bouncing all around, all ragdolled and furious as he swears up a storm. He hits the ground back first and just lays there for a few minutes, completely owned. Then he slowly pulls himself to his feet and brushes the brambles off his pants. He points up the hill at Jade and shouts, "For the record, just so that we're both clear, this is why I hate leaving the fucking house!" He absconds, limping a little and rubbing the left side of his ass, which unfortunately for him affords nowhere near the level of padding as Jake's legendary backside. Jade puffs out both of her cheeks and stares after him. Well, I guess I'm eating grub spaghetti alone. Again. That sure is a chapter, as per usual, you know? It sure is a chapter. I have thoughts upon rereading this because this is like the first time I reread the epilogues, I think. I'm not sure, but I think so. And I don't know if Jade's relationship strategy is the wisest choice. I've got no idea why, like, I don't know why she thinks that Kaka would be wishing to be pitch with her. She's trying, but she's not communicating. And like, gaslighting your future partner is not like, it's not the strategy I'd go for. Unfortunately, as much as I hate it, I don't know why, but my voice is already dead. I think it's because there was a lot of Karkat in this chapter, and I haven't done very much Karkat. So I'm actually thinking about stopping, considering there's a lot of Terezi coming up, and that is the same sort of taxing on my voice. So should we do one more chapter, or should we stop for now? Chad has no idea. Chad is not listening. Chad is not present. The entirety of Chad has died. Oh, there you are. You're on such a delay. Yeah, my voice is honestly already tired. You're on like a full minute delay. Do you know that? You shouldn't be. I think I've got like on the thing. Oh well. I don't know why. Oh, you just reacted late. Okay. No, it's just both of you being inattentive. Yeah, no, I think I need to stop, unfortunately. The weather is kind of kicking my ass, and the heat, and then also my lack of preparation today. So that's going to be it for now. Thank you for showing up, both of you. You are my biggest fans. And I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.